NPCs, non-player characters, is quite the buzz nowadays. In fact, if you're not sure what one is, go ahead, look up online and you will get an eyeful and an earful. But today, that's not what I'm going to go into. Today, I want to talk about a different way of viewing them. I want to share with you what I see are the pitfalls of adopting this perspective. And I'm going to share with you another way of looking at NPCs and the roles that they play. And in fact, I think it's a much more compassionate, humane, and possibly holistic and accurate view of what exactly are NPCs. Welcome to another high-tech Rebel Crone presentation. Today's topic, NPCs, non-player characters. Once again, this is not going to be a definition of those, so if you don't know what one is, just look it up online. There is a ton of information about it because it's quite the buzz nowadays. But today, I want to propose a whole different way of looking at what an NPC is, and to propose maybe some reasons why we have the current definition that's buzzing around nowadays. But to start with, I'm going to refer back to a similar chart that I used the other day when I was talking about timelines. And that's the radio station. So every one of these knobs is a frequency. And remember, we're all frequency beings. We're all frequency from the one source that differentiates down through the bandwidths in different degrees of vibration. And where we vibrate, right, that is the timeline that we're existing on. Our vibration, we're in a band. It's almost like our world is contained in that band of where we are vibrating. We shift our vibration, we shift to another band. It can be up, it can be down, as in faster and slower, not in better or worse. But I guess it's up to each individual to decide what's better for them. For me, a higher vibration is better, but I'm just saying my point of view. You can have your own with that. We vibrate higher, we go up to a bandwidth, we experience another reality, another timeline. So today, looking at NPCs, within, let's say this is our bandwidth right here. This is where we're vibrating. And you've heard the thing that life is but a play. Life is actually your play. It's your story, right? You shift your vibration, you shift your story, you shift your world. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. It's you. It's your world, your perception, your reality you're creating because it's what you see. So if you're in this reality right here, and let's say, talking about my world, this is going to be my story. My world, my story. This is my drama playing out within that bandwidth. All right, and in my story and in my play, my drama, I've got characters. All right, I'm the main character, obviously, because I am the entity, the person, the personality that is viewing the whole thing. So from my perspective, I've got my main characters playing out. They may be a partner, they may be friends, very close friends. They may be family members, and it can change over time, right? As we're moving through time, different people come in and out of our world that play important roles. Some stay with us through the whole trajectory of our lives, and some don't. All right, so within here are our main characters, and then we've got our secondary characters, our bit players, right? That are vibrating close, but they may not be right on that main storyline. And they've got a role to play, right? They've got a vital role to play. And then within this bandwidth of vibration, there's going to be other characters out in the periphery, and ones that, we may just meet here and there at a party. We may just see at the grocery store. We might just pass by on the street. And then there's some we're never going to see at all, but they're still in that vibration. The main point here is the storyline. Each of us within this vibration are going to have a storyline, right? And in that story, we have players. We have got the characters in our drama that are helping us right to fulfill the purpose of what our drama is looking to show us, teach us, reflect back to us. All right, so what happens to all the people that are up here, all the players, all the characters in these other vibrations? Are they essential to my drama, to my character? No, they're not. They don't play a role. In fact, many of them I don't even see. I don't even know about. They don't even exist to me. What exists to me is within my own drama. So what I'm proposing is a different way of looking at the people out there. I mean, those really are non-player characters to me, right? They play no role in my drama, yet they're playing a role in a different drama, right? So for somebody vibrating up here, let's say I switch my vibration, now I'm vibrating up here and I've got a new drama playing out. Or there's going to be some characters maybe that transfer over vibrationally and they're able to vibrate in this new realm and they are essential characters within my new vibratory range. But there's going to be new players that come in, new people you meet that are going to be drawn to you and you're going to be drawn to them because you're in a new vibratory frequency. You're in a new world, you're in a new timeline. So there's going to be new essential characters. So I think I'm going to name those EPCs, right? Essential player characters instead of non-essential. So the essential ones will form up in this new drama, my new play. The old ones, they become non-essential because they are not playing a role in my new drama. It's that simple, okay? And then if I were to drop my vibration down here, unfortunate, but it happens. You know, sometimes it's just for a period of time and then we snap out of it and we go back up. We're back down here once again. These players, if they are healthy and they've got good boundaries, they're not going to follow you down here. They may try to remind you about raising your vibration and help you, right? So herein, I think, is another kind of offshoot topic of that, but the role that we can play for non-player characters, non-essentials, vibrating in a different area, instead of just writing them off as, you know, you're nothing, you're soulless because you don't play in my drama. I mean, like, really? I mean, think about that. That's a massive judgment to put on somebody else, right? Massive, that's going into the God realm. The God realm is that you're worthy, you have a soul, you're essential to the drama of life. You know, the drama of life, just because what I see in my world, that's the whole world. And I deem that as, you know, that I can judge who in their entirety in their life, that they are essential or not. I don't know about you, but I would not step foot in that terrain. That is really dangerous waters. We're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes, why that's so dangerous. If your mind hasn't already, your heart hasn't already gone there by now. But when somebody's in a different range here and they've slipped out of where you're vibrating, you know, instead of casting them off and saying, oh, you know, I don't even feel your vibration anymore. You know, there's no soul there, just because they seem to be little automatons going about living their own little dramas in a different vibratory range that you can't relate to. In fact, you can't even see that world because you're vibrating at a higher range. You can't see it. It's not there. But that doesn't mean that that person playing out this drama, wherever that drama is, whatever vibratory range, that is not essential to that person, that they don't play a role to other people that's essential, that's along that drama line, that storyline, within that bandwidth. So you see where I'm going with this, is the essentialness or the non-essentialness of a person, of a character, is directly contingent upon our own drama and our own storyline. People that don't fit in that, well, fine, they don't fit in that. Doesn't mean that they aren't essential in a different one, right? Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to draw this out differently, and then we're going to go into a little more detail about the potential pitfalls that I see in this whole scenario. So I hope you give me some latitude here, because I'm using just this flat whiteboard here to try to describe, you know, complex ideas. But I'm doing my best to keep them really simple, really easy to understand, and as always, squaring them back to things that we know are true. All right, so another way of looking at NPCs or EPCs, essential player characters, would be here you are. Nice sphere-ish shape. Here are all the characters. Well, actually, here you are. This is your drama going out. And then there's all your characters that are essential to the drama that you're playing playing with at this moment. And then there's some that kind of cross in and out of your world. You know, some that kind of float in for a time and then they go back out. You know, it's the beauty of life, right? Is the people that we get to meet and the little roles we can play. And then we've got everybody else floating around out here, having their own dramas, living in their own worlds, vibrating in their own special way, their own unique way, that's them, and having their own experiences. Sometimes, once again, they butt up against us, our world, and sometimes they never do. Sometimes they're just a distant, you know, never to be touched on. And that's fine. We can only encompass so much, and we only need to learn so much or experience so much in this life. And it's all important is our world. This is what's important. Just because we can't perceive or relate to somebody else, there is nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely right. That's the design of things, correct? But here's where we get into the tricky part, is when you have, let's, instead of saying this is an individual, let's pull the scope out to say this is a whole group of people, all right? This is a culture, or this is an organization, and there's all the people within it, and they've got a belief system, all right? That's their capsule here. And that's a whole other thing, right? Is that permeability and how rigid the boundaries are of our drama, or, you know, how compassionate our boundaries are, and how much we understand that while it seems we have all these separate lives, it is all contained in the one, right? This is all contained in source. So it's all one thing. We are all one thing, differentiated. And as we reach a higher level perspective, we understand that. So these hard, fast borders around our beings and our dramas and our world, those start to dissipate in a way. Not that we don't always want to have good boundaries around us, we don't want to let just anything in, but there's a whole different perspective that comes into play here. That's not what this video is about. This video is about deciding to adopt the theory and the concept of non-player characters as being the kind of automatons and soulless people that just have bodies, but they are they're soulless. There's not an eternal entity, an immortal within. You know, they're, I don't even say bit players. It's less than that. It's less than that, right? All right, so let's go back to, this is an organization. This could be a country. This could be a whole culture, no matter. And here's this rigid thing, and there's a belief system in here. And in that belief system, they're saying, we are the essential ones. In fact, we are the chosen ones. Yes, we're the chosen ones. Us, right here, 144,000 chosen people. Just throwing that one out there. Whatever your organization, whatever this is, but they're the chosen one. Everything else is non-essential to what we're doing, because we know we've got it. We've got the truth. We are the children of the one God. And by gosh, we have jurisdiction, and we have authority, and we have permission to spread our message. In fact, it's vital that we spread our message, and we come and we spread it to everybody else, and they better come on board, by God. They better adopt what we're believing to be able to be saved, because we're the one true ones. These are all non-player characters, unless they adopt our belief system. They come into our company culture. They come into our religion, whatever it may be. They adopt that, then, maybe they can come and attach on here and come within the umbrella of us blessed chosen ones. But they better adhere to everything we say, because otherwise they are the non-player characters. You know, if they couldn't wake up to that, wow, they're nothing. And we have permission to destroy. We have permission to kill, obliterate, wipe out, whether that is another person, whether that's an organization, whether that is a village, whether that is a whole culture, a whole society. We can just erase them off of the whole scheme of things, because you know what? They are NPCs. They don't have a soul because they don't believe in what we believe in, right? Because this is ordained by the one God. Now, I know all of you listening to me, otherwise you wouldn't be on my channel, understand just how horrific this is and what a horrific role this attitude played in the whole more recent history of our world, right? We have all the crusaders going out, we have all the conquerors, all the explorers of new territory going into the new world, going into, lands that are primitive and wild, and all those native people. Oh, NPCs, yeah. Unless maybe there's a few, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's a few that can adopt our religion or our perspective, and we'll save them. We'll save them, but their whole cultures, all who they are, their belief systems, everything about them, NPC. There's no soul in that. In fact, there's no soul in that, but it's evil. It's evil, it's bad. Wipe them out if they don't jump on board. You see the dangerous zone that we're getting in when we start. I'm going to take this off because we don't need to be reminded and have this in our face the whole time. I'm actually going to take NPC out of there too. You can easily see the challenge, right? And the potential pitfalls of adopting this NPC philosophy. In fact, I'm going to propose, and I'm kind of new to this whole YouTube and social media thing, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be able, what I can say and what I can't say. Not that somebody is changing who I am, but I just don't want to get deleted. I want to get my message out there, and it's, as you know, it's a message of unity, of autonomy, sovereignty, and upliftment. So you guys have heard of this word. Okay? I'm not going to say it, I'm not sure I'm supposed to say, but to me, this screams, NPC screams that it screams that this could potentially be going on, right? And is in all things, I'm not saying there's nothing accurate about the whole thing, and there may be, but once again, when the truth always seems to get infiltrated, and you look back and you really start gaining an accurate history, and you start opening your eyes to what's really going on, you'll see that every good movement, there's been great movements, that have really like a positive message they're trying to bring into the world, whether it's a new way of forming a society, whether it's a spiritual belief or principle, they all get the PSYOP happens. They get infiltrated and it gets distorted, and from that good intention based in accurate information, it all goes wonky, and pretty soon it just veers, slowly, imperceptibly to most people, it veers off course. So what I want to challenge you with is that potentially this whole NPC thing is ripe for a kind of manipulation like that. And you can see the danger in adopting this when we don't have the full information of what's really going on. And I'm not sure we're going to have that fully while we're in this realm and while we're locked in with this, the sensory zone that's available to us and the knowledge that's available to us. Oh yeah, we're busting through and new things are coming in. It's a very exciting time. But how far we will go into penetrating the higher realms and the higher understandings, we'll see. But when we get into something like that, when we start to place judgment on other people, whether they have a soul, whether they don't have a soul, we are treading into the realm of God. We're treading into the realm of source. We're treading into a place that we really shouldn't go, in my opinion, because you can see from what I just drew out all the potentials that can come from adopting a position like this. It's us versus them. It's we versus the other. I'm right, they're all wrong. And then it goes one step further, is that I am so right and they're so wrong that they are not even just non-essential, but I can do anything to them in the name of the rightness that empowers me. I kind of think, I don't need to say a whole lot more about that, right? I think you guys get the point. The point is really, really careful when you adopt whatever it is going to be that's going on now. There's so much buzz happening on the internet and social media now. I mean, just really the curtains are opening up to this play, this drama, the big play, the big drama. The curtains are starting to be pulled back, and we're starting to see a little more into peer into those realms. But just remember, just like Dorothy looking in and finding the wizard, that there's a lot of false narratives out there. We're still, I feel like there's more things coming in, but there's a massive level of discernment that we have to use as we are entertaining these ideas and these potentials. Just let's think them, really, really think them through. Like, what does it mean if I adopted this as a perspective? What is that really saying? Something about kind of feels good because I feel a little better about myself because that person is non-essential. They don't even seem like they're stirring, and they are sound asleep. In fact, they may be so asleep that they're just never going to wake up. So let me just add one more thing. I was going to end it, but there's one more thing I want to share that I was going to talk about earlier. So within each of our bandwidths, and let's say we come and we're a more enlightened, we have some more knowledge and wisdom, and we're up here. We have all these NPCs floating around down here, and they seem to be completely asleep, maybe soulless, but when we adapted this, here we are, and our light is getting stronger and bigger, and we're understanding the nature of reality, that it's all from one source. It's all contained in this source. And it is not our right to decide what deserves love and what doesn't deserve love, because everything comes from love. Everything comes from source. Everything comes from love. Okay? Nothing doesn't come from love. Now, may have gone way amiss off the main pulsation, maybe completely sleep to it, they may be trying to manipulate, but it all comes from one source. So as we radiate the source, the source coming into us, and we expand it out, we radiate it to people that down here that look like non-essential players, but who am I to decide whether they're worthy of the love that contains them? Who am I to decide to play God? Like, who gets or to play source? Like, who is worthy of source's shining, source's light, source's love? I don't want to play that role. I'm going to shine my love to everybody. You never know, this little character way over here that seems to be sound asleep. In fact, they seem to maybe be like soulless. There's nothing going on in them. But as I shine my light, I start to plant little seeds of love that go in here. And maybe that is the one spark. Maybe it's that one time when I go into the grocery store and I hold the door open for somebody and I greet them with a loving, kind smile. Or I'm in line at that store and somebody doesn't have enough money and I go ahead and I offer them, I'll pay for it, or here's some money for that. I do an act of kindness, and what that stirs in that broken heart, that heart that's so protected and wounded and just checked out because they've had nothing but mistreatment. They haven't ever experienced the beauty of love. And that love, little spark comes in, and all of a sudden that person, they start to wake up. That person, something starts to ignite. Oh my gosh. And they start like they got hope, and they start vibrating up. And because they're vibrating up, right, their reality is going to change. Well, pretty soon they're like, oh, and then they do something nice to somebody because you did something nice to them. That sparks somebody else, and it sparks somebody else, and people start, they start waking up, and the whole thing starts vibrating higher. And these non-player characters suddenly become player characters in another drama, and in another one, and in another one on their ascension process. And some may never. I'm not saying it's going to happen with there. Some may never. This is just going to be sound asleep. Little Z's snoring away, and they're going to snore through their life. That's fine. It's not for me to judge. Maybe maybe their spirit wanted a life of snoozing. Maybe they're just ding dang tired. Or maybe they, who knows, whatever's happening in their karmic realm. Their karmic realm of, I shouldn't say past lives because it's all happening in the big now, but what's happening all in their lives. We don't know what role this particular one is when we intersect with them and see them. We don't know the role that they're playing in the scheme of things. Don't know. Let's not play God with it. Let's not judge and decide. Let's just let our light shine and let it work its magic. We don't have to try to manipulate that magic. The real magic happens is that we just let our magic shine. We have our proper boundaries because we don't want to let, there is a lot of negative things going on. You may touch into somebody that does not have good intentions. And by God, I'm not going to let that come into me. That can just bounce right back down and right back on that person. That's a whole other subject right there about how to do that. But when we keep our hearts in the right places and our boundaries correct and we shine the light of who we are based in where we're vibrating, we can affect the world. And you know what? We need to affect the world because we're all connected and we all need the opportunity to rise up, right? So I'm going to give as many people as possible that opportunity. If they don't want it and they don't seize on it, I don't care why or why not. Ain't my business, ain't my drama, ain't my play. They can just go about theirs and to the time for them to receive maybe from another person or maybe not at all. Not my problem, right? Not my problem. Not for me to judge, not for me to label, not for me to decide their value, based on an idea of this NPC thing. I'm not going there. I'm going to stick with the EPCs, the central player characters in my drama, and the people that come into my sphere of connection and how I can be a blessing in all their lives. So I hope this is a blessing to you too, and I hope you're following what I'm saying with it. And it's coming from a place of love and a place of concern that we can all really stay accurate and true to the source of where we are. And we just let everybody else go about their dramas and just be gracious about it and be kind and loving about it. And also keep ourselves safe and protected from it all too, because there is a lot of craziness out there. Anyways, this is the Rebel Crone. I'm going to sign off now because I think I've said enough about it. I think the message hopefully is clear. Let me know what you think about it. If you resonate with what's happening, be sure to share with friends that you think might resonate as well. And leave your comments, all blah, 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 all the above. Just do it. And until next time, I send my love to you. And as always, peace from within. That's the only place where it can come from. Thank you.